I'm SDrohan, and this is my demo lesson for SPH 604. And the age group for my lesson I'm going to be presenting will be for kindergarten or first grade children. And my particular client that I chose to do it with presents with childhood apraxia of speech as well as auditory processing disorder. So my first goal for the student was that within a 3-month period, that they would produce CVC words in 7 out of 10 trials when provided with visual, verbal, and tactile cues. And the use of this strategy is supported by Margaret and Susan, 1991, and they cite that multimodal cueing is in fact a typical treatment method for children with childhood apraxia of speech. So what I would do is I would begin the session by telling the child, today we're going to practice saying different words, and we need to make sure that we hear each sound in the word. So I might say, today our word is bat. So can you repeat that word for me? If the client were to get this correct, I might say, excellent, I heard you say bat. I heard you say your b, a, and t sounds, just to reinforce the fact that they did produce it correctly. But if, for example, they maybe did initial consonant deletion, I would have to provide further cues. So one thing I could do is I could provide a visual cue. So I could show them a picture of the word, and then I could point to each phoneme. So I could model this for them by saying b, a, t, while pointing to each phoneme. And then I would have them do it with me. So I would say, okay, let's do this together. So we're gonna point to each of the letters that you see here. So b, a, t. And then I would have them do it with me maybe once or twice. And then I would ask them to do it on their own so that they were able to start to use that independently. And then after that, I would ask them to produce the word on their own. So I might model again. I'll say, can you say bat? And then I would have them repeat it. Another strategy that I could use for this is tactile cues. So the way I would do this if I were in a therapy room is I would tap out on the table the different phonemes. So I would be segmenting bat into b, a, t, just to provide that reinforcement that there are 3 individual parts to that particular word. And I would have the child do it with me as well. So I would say, okay, now we're going to tap out the word bat. So bat has 3 parts to it. So we need to tap our finger 3 times when we say it. B, a, t. And then I'd say, now you try. So then I would have the child do that as well. And that would be it for my first activity.